Hi, I'm Joshua Santospirito. I make comics. You're in my studio right now, and I thought perhaps I'd like to talk about something which I haven't heard too many people speak about online, and that's kind of different ways to arrange comics, like the formal aspects, like how you arrange all the panels, and how that might affect your story, the content, so form and how it affects content. But I'm kind of interested a little bit in how that might also affect like the emotional quality of your comic in the long run. So look, I thought I'd show you some of examples from my books. This is just really quickly, you don't need to read into it, just sort of thinking about the panel design here. This is from The Long Weekend in Alice Springs, which is a 2013 book of mine, published in Australia. 9-panel grid. Pretty standard for lots of comics. Kind of gives it a really easy kind of beat to the book so that you can kind of get things done. Now, later in that book, I did it for a while, and then I thought I really need to break out of this. But the 9-panel grid is still present in this page. You can see it with the center tier there. Starting to do some more interesting kind of things with like voice bubbles and whatnot. And then it allowed me to kind of break out into pages like this, which is quite different to the rest of the book, and it's a bit more dreamy in tone. And if you kind of zoom in a little bit, you can sort of see that it's sort of going into a bit of a visual reverie. So that's kind of fun. Breaking out of it, but also creating kind of a beat to it. In 2015, I published another book, which is called Swallows Part 1, and I really had no panels whatsoever. This is a page from that. This is another page. I really let the words drift across the page. I don't think there's any actual panel lines in this entire book. This one's quite a nice one. Very few words, but it has a very dreamy kind of thoughtful quality to it. I'm currently working on Swallows Part 2. Let me show you. This one's a little bit more structured. So over here we can see, there's a bit of a visual kind of movement to it, and then movement across, say, 4 panels here. And I've got something similar with this page here. Now, I don't know what that might kind of bring to a book in the end, but certainly having aspects which are kind of fluid and open versus ones which have got kind of beats to it, I think is kind of an interesting combination. I wonder if you've got any other examples, perhaps, of maybe podcasts or things which might have talked about how book page layout and design tends to affect kind of how the reader might think about the page. I think it's an interesting kind of thing to think about, because I and many other comic artists probably stare at pages quite a lot and think about this, whereas the reader probably just drifts over the pages and turns them really quickly without thinking how, I guess, their brains have been kind of manipulated a little bit by the way we've laid the page out. Interesting thought. Anyway, thanks for listening.